Hi, welcome to the Wild Gut Project. My name is Carrie. It's all about being vegan, IBS, low FODMAP. And today's video I'm going to be talking about kind of stacking or combining FODMAPs and not overeating so that it doesn't trigger your IBS. Okay, so this is a topic that I found really frustrating to kind of research and in the beginning also trying to understand it, because the advice is so vague and kind of the authority on it, Monash University, their guideline is that you can have multiple serves of green vegetables. But I don't know, multiple isn't a number and it's really difficult to know if multiple means 2 or 10. And I don't know, if you're vegan, you're probably used to having a lot of vegetables in a dish, so like the idea of having maybe just 3 portions kind of seems very small for you. But if you're someone who eats lots of meat all the time, like judging by the cookbooks I've seen that are low FODMAP, that might be quite normal. So I don't know what their version of multiple is. I did actually email them and they said that there isn't a kind of exact number for every person, like one size does not fit all, so they kind of purposefully keep it vague so they're not kind of giving the wrong advice to people. So I guess the moral of that story is you need to suss out your own limits. There's one lady, a dietitian, I can't remember her name, she has a good book. It's not vegan at all, but her kind of information is very helpful. And she says that you should have maximum of 2 servings of kind of low FODMAP foods that have quite a tight upper limit. Give you an example. I mean something like courgettes, so I'm using the Monash up here. So you can have 66 grams and that's low FODMAP, but it says large servings, 70 grams, contains moderate amounts of oligofructans. So, I mean, it's actually, 4 grams and it goes from being low to moderate, kind of. Therefore, if you have multiple servings of low FODMAP courgette, you're taking yourself over that limit. So she says don't have more than 2 of those kind of portions you need to measure. So that's why for the kind of meal maker guide thing that I made, you can download below, it really focuses on the vegetables that you don't have to measure out, because those ones you don't need to kind of worry so much about overstacking. I wanted to come up with a kind of physical example to show you that can kind of help make it make sense in your mind. So if we say, for example, a low FODMAP portion of food, whatever it is, vegetables, is the equivalent to, I'm gonna take this, it's all vodka, definitely all vodka. That's like your low FODMAP vegetable. And if you have that much vodka in 2 hours, like, you're not gonna get drunk. But if you start having another low FODMAP portion, some more low FODMAP food, more low FODMAP, more low FODMAP, you start getting to the point where actually you've got quite a lot of vodka. Then you have some more low FODMAP stuff. And honestly, like in 20 minutes, if that was vodka, I definitely start to feel it. And that's kind of how you would be feeling with IBS. If you have 10 half shots of vodka, like that's 5 shots of vodka, you're gonna feel drunk. If you have 10 portions of low FODMAP food, you're kind of taking yourself over the limit. Obviously those numbers are not set. Like I said, the Monash University is kind of purposefully very vague. So, I don't know. I've generally found if I have kind of 2 portions of totally FODMAP free and then 1 or 2 of kind of tight upper limit FODMAP-y foods, like I'm fine. And I don't really worry about the kind of the flavorful stuff, because you'll have like a teaspoon and it's normally kind of negligible. So I hope that kind of makes it make a bit more sense. So it also kind of relates to how frequently you eat. So if you're drinking a shot of vodka every 10 minutes, even though 1 shot of vodka isn't that much, every 10 minutes it's a lot. Same with food. If you're eating like a low FODMAP snack and you're having it constantly, you can start bringing yourself up to your upper limit. But if you give yourself a break, you kind of have a little low and you settle, a bit of low and you settle, and you never get to a kind of a threshold where you'll start to get symptoms. Oh yeah, so the super weird tip, kind of a long story short, earlier this year I was kind of living and working in a yoga retreat in Norway, which is very cool. And they were really big on plant-based cooking, so I learnt a lot, and also Ayurvedic cooking, which is kind of an ancient kind of Indian medicine, I guess. And I was introduced to this idea of the bubble. And it's kind of weird, but bear with me. When you're eating, towards the end of the meal, you will feel like a little bubble of air come up from your stomach and kind of up your throat. And it's not a burp, it's just like a little, oh, there was the bubble. And apparently, well, they say that's your stomach kind of, or your body telling you that you're full. And it's really true. It's kind of, your body kind of gets to that, or your stomach rather, starts to stretch a little bit, and it's kind of, from that point on, if you start eating, you get that kind of uncomfortable stretching. I mean, uncomfortable, like nice, everyone likes overeating a bit. But it is kind of that point where your body's kind of going, okay, that's enough food I can deal with right now, like, you're good, you're not hungry anymore, you're just eating for the sake of eating. So it kind of encourages you to be mindful of your body and how you're experiencing the food, and then not overeating. Because I feel like the times when I've had really bad IBS, it's when I've actually really overeaten. I thought this would be quite a useful tip, just very practical. And you obviously don't throw that food away, just keep it for later, give your body a little break. Maybe the alcohol equivalent of having a soft drink in between alcoholic beverages, and you'll be feeling just dandy. It's a little strange. I don't really know how kind of founded it is in research medicine. I don't know if it's even something people would have researched yet. But from my personal experience and the people that I was with in Norway, it's very true. If you stick to that bubble limit, you feel good. And it doesn't mean you have to go hungry. It's that point when you're not hungry anymore. Side note, a splash of this stuff, the chocolate Oatly in coffee, is just incredible. Just a tiny bit, and it tastes so good. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. I'd love to know if you have any kind of extra tips for not overeating, because I think we all need that in this coming season. Any advice you've had about stacking that you found really useful. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.